Hello again, this is Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest version of This Week in Kingston for the week ending June 25th, 2021. Busy Board of Selectmen meeting over the past week. A lot of things happening, a lot of people stepping up and volunteering to serve the town in a variety of capacities, and we'll try to go over those with everybody. We had a vacancy on the Kingston School Committee with the resignation of Eric Crone. We had three candidates initially apply. One withdrew. After interviewing the candidates, the school committee and the Board of Selectmen both voted to appoint Timothy Lewis to serve until next spring. I want to thank Mr. Lewis for his willingness to serve the community. As far as the planning board goes, we appointed Richard Kenny as an alternate. Mr. Kenny has been an alternate now for a little while. He was reappointed for another 3-year term. So again, thank him for serving. The Waterfront Committee came in front of the board and talked about some events that they're potentially going to schedule over the next few months. Something on for Christmas, something on New Year's Day, things of that nature. So they're in the planning process of that. They'll be coming in front of the Board of Selectmen sometime in the near future to have some further discussions if they do want to move forward with some of those thoughts. We were fortunate enough on Tuesday night to have the Board of Selectmen confirm the recommended appointment of a town planner. Valerie Massard is a Kingston resident, has been a longtime town planner, most recently for the town of Duxbury. Valerie applied for the open position, and we were thrilled to meet with her. We interviewed some other candidates as well, all of which were qualified in their own ways. But I think Valerie was somebody who stood up above the rest with her years of experience, her knowledge of Kingston, and her broad capabilities. We're really, really excited to have Valerie start sometime in July. I think she will fill the hole we've had in our land use departments now for a little while, and will do a really nice job representing Kingston. So welcome, Valerie. We also have had the Board of Selectmen approve 1-year contracts for the harbor master for the town, as well as the shellfish constable. We had a vacancy in the harbor master position. We appointed the assistant harbor master on an interim basis to fill the role for this coming boating season. Tom Taylor stepped up and is doing a great job with that. There was some concerns raised because at least the perception was with Mr. Taylor being a commercial fisherman that there may be some conflict because some of the shellfish regulations were under the harbor master. So to try to best address those conflicts immediately, I suggested to the board, with help of legal counsel, to have the positions and the responsibilities of each position separated out. So both the harbor master and the shellfish constable would both report to the chief of police. All of the shellfish responsibilities would fall under the shellfish constable, and then the waterway responsibilities would fall under the harbor master. There was some discussion at the board meeting. This isn't probably the ideal situation and how to address that, but with some of the restrictions we have in town, it was probably the best way of doing it at this point within the limitations that we have. So those duties have now been officially separated. Any concerns people have with the harbor master being a commercial fisherman and the potential conflict there may be should now be addressed and resolved. So we're happy to have that move forward. As we moved on, the Board of Selectmen approved the creation of an assistant conservation agent position. We have a person in the conservation department who's acting as an admin that has really been doing assistant conservation agent work. He's is resigning later in July to go back to school and get his master's degree. We have an opening and are just looking to have advertised for the position accurately with the responsibilities that position is going to have. So with the creation of assistant conservation agent, we'll be able to do that. Wage and Personnel approved it last year. There was funding in the budget for it, but with some of the COVID-related concerns and cutbacks that occurred in the fiscal 21 budget, the assistant conservation agent was put on hold. So that has now been created. We'll start advertising in the near future for that position. We also had some individuals, 5 of them, be reconfirmed in most cases for our Kingston Housing Authority. The Housing Authority has been in a bit of in a situation where there's been a bit of a hold on the election of those positions because of some changes going on at the state level. So with our town clerk, Paul Gallagher, working with the state and legal counsel, we were able to get the issues resolved. It was a statewide issue, not just a Kingston issue. So we have the Board of Selectmen appointed Mary Hayes for a 1-year term, Donald Ducharme for a 2-year term, Gretchen Emmets, and I apologize if I mispronounce that name, for a 3-year term, and a tenant position. It's going to be served by James Mew for a 1-year term. So again, thank you everybody for stepping up and serving in that capacity and keeping the Housing Authority moving forward. There were some other appointments, just to let everybody know. Dorothy McFarland was appointed to the Conservation Commission. Carlina Vendetti to the Conservation Commission. David O'Connell to the Recycling Committee. Benjamin Tambush to the Historical Commission. Thomas Vendetti to the Historical Commission as well. And Christopher Vanaka to Assistant Harbor Master. So again, a lot of things going on, and Jess Kramer was appointed as a board liaison on the Winthrop Street property discussion. That Winthrop Street property will be coming back in front of what I assume to be the Board of Selectmen and town meeting this fall. So be prepared to have some conversations and voting on that. So with that, that's kind of the summary of what went on at the Board of Selectmen's meeting. It was a busy but productive night. Things went very well. A couple of things I want to make people aware of. Unfortunately, we had some issues up at the COVID vaccination site at the Kingston Collection, where we're just trying to get some of the paperwork squared away. It was an accidental oversight, it appears. So we've shut that regional vaccination site down until next Tuesday. Excuse me, I believe it's the 29th or 29th, excuse me, of June. So please check the town website on the 28th of June to see the status of that vaccination location. We're trying to get those things addressed. So the only day it would be impacted is this Saturday, the 26th. So apologize for any inconvenience anybody had who was planning to go there on Saturday, but we need to try to get that paperwork squared away as best we can. Then lastly, and I think everybody's heard this over and over again, but just one last plug, our transfer station decals are expiring. So you have the ability to come to the highway barn behind the town office building 7 days a week, Monday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesdays through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Saturdays and Sundays, both 8 to 4. Please bring the car registration. The decal will be affixed to, as well as a check to pay for that decal. Appreciate everybody who's gone through the process so far. Just remind everybody that the decals do expire June 30th. So try to get in when you can. We would very much appreciate that. With that, I want to thank everybody very much for watching. I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk to you next week about some of the 4th of July activities in town. Have a good day.